Hello, everyone, and welcome to ReelQuick, episode 106. This is our Patreon-sponsored draft of the week, and today we are going to be drafting our favorite albums of all time. This was requested by patron Cameron Sheritz. Shout out to him for the recommendation. A little different than what we normally do. You know, last week we did Halloween candy, this week albums. So we're kind of getting outside of just our movie bag. So with that being said, just know, we're not, what's that big album review podcast or TikTokers? I would see like the Needle Drop or something. Anthony Fontano and those other two dudes. We're just talking about our favorite albums. No need to take our ratings to heart too much, but we're gonna do it in draft format. Although I don't think any of us will take anything that other people are gonna be taking. So pretty much it's just our top 5 favorite albums of all time. But just for ease of like coordinating how we're gonna go through this, we're just gonna do it in a draft format. So the order is gonna be Cam, Tyler, Seth. And we're going to go for 5 albums overall. We wish George could be here for this one, but alas, the show must go on. Cam, what's your favorite album of all time?
You just give me. Well, okay, so this is my number one.
Yes,
I don't have a number one. I'm going to say this now. Mine aren't right.
Yeah, I need to say this as well. I have a problem where I will listen. I have the issue where I'll like a song or an album for a year and I'll run it into the dirt and I'll never listen to it again.
Mm-hmm.
I really have that issue where like I can't listen to a song for over a year. Probably there are some that just continuously hit, but I'll run it into the ground. Like driving, I have a 45-minute to drive to work every single day, actually 55. And I listened to 3 songs yesterday on a continuous loop. Yeah, every day. It's about an hour. It's tough. I listened to 3 songs on a continuous loop. It was and that's what I'm into right now. So my number one, though, I'm going to go with Zach Bryan's second most recent album, Something in the Orange. Or I think the album is, I didn't even look it up because I think the album is just titled Zach Bryan. Like, I think it's his, like, or no, maybe that's his
a
new
really
one.
good album, actually. It's a really good album.
I think right.
American Heartbreak.
Is he the guy that George started to do that he's convinced isn't country, but it is country? Is that the guy?
Yes, exactly. Yep. American Heartbreak is what the album's called in 2022. Shout out Zach Bryan.
Still so weird that he's dating that Barstool Sports girl.
Yeah, Brianna.
He was born in Japan. Did you know that?
Huh?
He was born in Japan. Did you know?
No, I didn't. I assume because he's from a military family. I knew that.
That makes sense.
Yep. He was in the military for a while.
Yeah, Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah, that's cool.
Only 27.
27. Pretty old.
All right. My first pick will be, I know an album that George loves, Vessel by 21 Pilots. Their first studio album. Big 21 Pilots fan. Seth, you got back-to-backs.
Yeah, so I'll go. Favorite album ever is probably Massive Attack, Mezzanine. Have either of you heard of Massive Attack, mate? It's like
never even heard of them.
It's like trip hop. I think that's the genre. It's like a electronic rock, like hip hop kind of thing. It's kind of a weird blend. It was like a 90s thing. I started from mom and dad that they were massive into them. So Mezzanine, probably my favorite album ever. If I'd say my number 2 is going to be. One or 2 is going to be Lil Wayne, and that's going to be Takata 3. So that was the one with Hit the Baby.
That's the best one. I love that in middle school, man.
Shit, you were a Takata guy. Yeah, I actually think that was the first album I ever bought.
Really?
I remember being in the airport, like when I was like really young with my mom, and then she bought me that. I don't know when that came out. When it's like 2007. I remember buying it. Or the first Parental Advisory, the first like rap album I bought. And I similar to what Cam said, I run like a lot of things into the ground when it comes to music, and I just can't listen to them again. But these albums are ones that I still go back to constantly. Takata 3 is one that I listen to like all the time. So I'm gonna say they're my first. They're my top 2, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrapping around to me. Second will be John Bellion, The Human Condition. I'm similar to like Seth was saying, like, and you guys are kind of both saying you kind of just listen to albums and kind of run them into the ground and don't really revisit them. But everything I'm drafting here is like the ones I revisit, and I don't think there's really anything outside this bag that I really revisit. John Bellion.
There are things I'll revisit and be like, damn, that was kind of a banger. Like I revisit it after a year or something. I'm like, man, and then I'll get back into it for another like 6 months, and then like run
That's
it to
what
the
I
ground
do. Yeah,
again.
that's what I do.
My next pick, so Seth, like when I was in middle school, I was one of those kids who was like, country sucks. It's the worst. I went to a public school, and our rival, I would call them like Noble Tucky. If you're from like the middle Indiana area, it's Noblesville, where I actually live now. So I can't really say it, but we'd call them like Noble Tucky because they were Hicks and stuff. And we'd make fun of them that way. I am the definition of you either die a hero or live to become a villain. Live long enough to become a villain. I'm a villain now. I love.
Now you drink Mountain Dew, drive trucks, and
I don't know how often I drink Mountain Dew other than Baja Blast.
Baja
Blast is different. That's the greatest drink ever.
No, but you made the joke further because you
Baja Blast is the greatest.
Posted about you drinking Mountain Dew.
That being said, my second favorite, I got to give a shout out to Zach Brown Band, just because they were like my favorite group for the longest time. So I'll go with Jekyll and Hyde from 2015. Came out when I was in high school. It's kind of like perfect time for
2015. That'd be after like Chicken Fried and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's their like third or fourth album.
Zach Brown Band. What's their big song from this album or big songs?
Homegrown. So that it's like
yeah.
Chicken Fried is probably one of their biggest. Knee Deep featuring Jimmy Butt. It is.
They're a reggae band. Nice.
No. They're country. So that is their fourth album.
Main genre, reggae.
I can see it being like a reggae country.
They every once in a while make a reggae song. So yeah, or maybe they're all reggae and I'm just an idiot.
I used to love reggae.
But yeah, I had to give a shout out to them because they're one of my favorites. One of my favorite albums ever is Brett Young's self-titled album, Brett Young.
Your third pick?
Yep, that's my third pick. It's more country. It's his first album ever. He has not hit since, in my opinion, but I love every song on that album.
What's his big song from that? Because that rings a bell. I listened to country back in the day.
Did you ever listen Mercy? Why I'm looking so.
But Brett Young's a name that
me.
These people are.
Brett Young is a name that. Okay, maybe never mind. I'm getting.
Yeah, this one is like not like that popular.
Yeah,
so 2017.
I don't know this guy, never mind.
Yeah, this one is not that popular of a country album, but I every single song on there I loved. I love, and I still kind of listen to. Like if I hear it, I'm like, yeah, this is great. And so I had to shout him out. Had to give it to him.
Shout out Brett Young. Shout out you.
Mm-hmm. My third pick will be Billie Eilish's "When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go." I'm a big Billie Eilish guy. I like all of her music, but I think that's her most through and through consistent.
Which one was
album.
that? What's the cover on that one?
The one where she's like in all white, like demonic face on a bed with a black background.
That was a really good album. I listened to a lot. Yeah,
with a Bad Guy, I think was the first song on it.
Shout out
she was
Bad
like
Guy
freaking
featuring Justin Bieber. That's a banger.
That's a different song.
Wait, what?
Justin Bieber is not in the Billie Eilish song.
Yeah, he's on Bad Guy. It's a like.
Oh, there's
it's
a
like
remix later?
Yeah, there's like a remix with
gotcha.
him and her. It's a banger.
I don't think I've ever
better than the original.
I don't think I've heard that.
But yeah, I think she released that when she was like 16, which is just like
crazy. She was young. Yeah,
good for her.
And like Ocean Eyes came out when she was like 13, and that was like a huge song too.
Mm-hmm.
Seth, your next, you back-to-back picks.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go shout out George on this one because he actually went to see them a few weeks ago, the Suicide Boys, and George went to see them and he texted me like saying, "What should I expect?" And I was just like, "Oh man, A, I'm jealous because they've never done it here, I don't think, or at least not for a long time. B, craziness, like it's not for everyone. I think his friends were like fans, and he said he had a wild time. But yeah, so I really like Suicide Boys, not as high on their recent stuff or like more recent stuff, but my favorite album, I'll have to get there's so many like words in this album. What's it called? Favorite album was in 2015. It's my liver will handle what my heart can't. It was a 2015 album, and that's my favorite. Have you guys ever listened to Suicide Boys? Do you know who they are by any chance? No,
I've heard of them, I think, but I've never heard a song.
Weren't they in? I think they were on the Suicide Squad, the original soundtrack. In that, what's that song? It's like Rick Ross and Suicide Boys.
Really? I don't even fucking.
Is that I've just become. Is that the
Purple
song from
Lamborghini?
Purple
but
Lamborghini. That's it.
No,
I don't see Suicide
That's
Boys.
the Suicide Squad. That's
I guess
that
Suicide
was-
Boys aren't in that one, but I feel like I
That's
remember Rick Ross
Skrillex.
yelling Suicide Boys in it, but maybe it's like
Yeah,
a reference to
because it's
Suicide Squad.
I know exactly
Yeah,
what
yeah.
song you mean. I don't think
surprised
that
that they skirted the trademark with that one.
Forgive
but,
me
uh,
for
I
my
was gonna
wrongs.
say-
I have just begun.
Yeah.
That album was kind of crazy when it came
Yeah,
out. But
well,
then the
it was
movie
a
sucked.
wild album, yeah.
Yeah.
Seth, you got another one.
Oh yeah, sorry. And then I'll go for. Did you guys ever listen to Black or Six Lack?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
those? So probably my favorite, one of my favorite albums ever, was his album Free Black, which I did. I don't think it was his debut. It might have been. I think it was his debut album, and it was in. Let me check. It was in 2016. Probably one of my favorite albums ever. Cam, do you know who Black is by any chance?
Nope.
Is the album name Free Black also spelled with the six black?
Six Black. Yeah.
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah. Okay.
He's
I know who
like
you're talking
fucking-
about. Six
I
Black. Yeah.
I
had a couple friends who were big into him, and I never liked it.
that was like one of those like albums that I just
Mhm.
I have the same feeling when I listen to it now, even though I've ran it completely into the ground. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites ever. So I'll go with that.
My fourth pick will be. I couldn't really decide which album of his I wanted to pull, but we'll go Post Malone's "Hollywood's Bleeding."
Fuck, that's an awesome album, man. That Hollywood's Bleeding song is.
I like all his
incredible.
albums. I'm actually
love
huge
Post
into
Malone.
Austin.
Do you
I've
like-
been,
I
I've
haven't
been listening to his
listened
new
to
I
his
don't
album
like
so much.
Austin as much. I don't like Austin.
Which
as
one
much.
was Austin? Which one was that?
His
His
one
most
that came out
recent.
like 3 months ago.
I haven't actually listened to that yet, to be honest.
I don't love it as
Wait,
much.
which
I
one
liked
did
it
you
at
say,
first.
Tyler?
What's Seth?
Which one did you say?
Hollywood's Bleeding.
Was that the like 2020, 2019 one a few years ago?
Yeah.
That's
I
a great album.
I think I preferred.
Beer Bongs and Bentleys.
The yellow album
Yeah.
cover.
I actually really liked Stoney, to be honest. Like I remember being, when that came out, I remember being so.
I went to a Justin Bieber concert and Post Malone opened, and that's like prior to. I've probably mentioned that before, but that's prior to him getting big, and now that would be.
Do you remember the first song he got massive was
White Iverson.
White Iverson.
That was banging when it first came out, but it got
Yeah.
played. Like it was like, you know, the song. What was the song that came out? 21 Savage. And it was on Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Was it Rockstar?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was so good, and then it got played to fucking.
Same with Congratulations. Yeah.
Rockstar is kind of a banger, though.
Rockstar is still kind of a banger.
That is without a doubt 21 Savage.
I actually nearly put a
best
21
verse.
Savage album in here. I used to
Rockstar. That is without a doubt 21's best verse.
No,
Yeah.
ever. Have you heard his old stuff?
No, probably not. But in my opinion, I can't say I've heard his old.
Did you
stuff.
listen? Have you ever listened to like some of his albums? Carl?
Yeah, I've probably his most recent ones that I don't like.
I don't really like his old stuff's a lot better. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, you got back to back to finish your draft.
Yeah, finishing off the draft, we're gonna go with. I had it written down. Oh, I'm just gonna go with Stick Season. It's a newer one for me, but like it's so fucking good. And then I've been
Big
really
fan of
getting
that
into
album.
I've been really getting into No Cons old stuff. So I figured I'd put it on here. And then we're gonna go with and I want to find the title of this. Oops, I think this is the album name as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Lumineers, Cleopatra. Great album. Man.
You did not name a single album. I know. I don't know any artist that you named.
You don't know the Lumineers? Lumineers are like they're not
Lumineers?
country. You know Noah Khan, right? He's like the biggest
still,
name right now.
He's blowing up, but he's still not like global.
I don't
feel
keep
like.
up. Like, I don't know about you guys. I don't keep up with music that often. You know what I mean?
I probably
either.
don't as much, but I feel like he's pretty big right
The
now.
Lumineers.
The Lumineers, yeah, they're like
Do I know these guys?
alternative or whatever you want to call it.
Like indie folk. I don't
Indie
know.
folk, yeah.
I
They're great.
vividly remember being like a kid and thinking like, cause I would always keep up on the newest music all the time and always be making
Same.
new playlists. And like, I thought like, I couldn't imagine a world where people wouldn't keep up with new music all the time. Like, how do old people just not know new music? Like, how do you not just every week want to catch up with all the new latest releases? And I'm like, at this point, I have no clue what I haven't, since I graduated like high school or not college, maybe a little bit, but yeah, mainly like high school. I haven't really like got up with new music as much.
Well, college, I would go to the library for 8, 10, 12 hours and I'd just play music for that long. So I'd be able to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And now I'm just dead.
The Lumineers did that I've been on you tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a fucking banger when that came out.
Yeah, it was.
I know,
Yeah, it
I know
was.
the Lumineers.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I just don't know the names.
The Cleopatra album, that may be that is extreme recency bias because like I just like it a whole lot right now. But I'm gonna throw it in there because why not? Get a little
I
diversity
remember when
on
that
my
came
board.
out. I used to listen to that song all the time. Hey
Yeah.
Ho, what was the song?
Hey, oh
Yeah.
Good song.
My final pick will be Millennium's album Awake. I like all his
Fuck
albums.
yeah.
Been a big
Fuck
fan.
yeah.
Always been a big fan of him.
Who's
But,
that?
Millennium. He's a EDM artist.
My favorite is
Ashes, Ascend.
I think it's Ascend.
Cam, I feel
Ascend
like
is
you,
great. I
feel like
love
you were a
Ascend.
guy, Cam, who listened to like Martin Garrix.
I got into EDM a lot in college.
When I was like 15,
Yeah.
16, I listened to like so much.
It's just because
Garrix.
it's just because it's good stuff. At least for me, it was good stuff to listen to at parties. So I was like, I like this, and so I'd listen to it when I wasn't at a party. And like I definitely got into an EDM type phase in college.
Martin Garrix like blew up with that Animals song.
Mhm.
Yeah, banger.
When that came out, it was bad.
That,
I don't think I'd like it now, though, to be honest.
I just saw a TikTok about that the other day where it was like Taylor Swift at 16, Olivia Rodrigo at 16, Billie Eilish 16, like showing how much streams they got. And then it's just like the final boss is like Martin Garrix at 16, who's like beyond any, like all of them combined,
He,
like global superstar.
Yeah, because he's only like in his I think he's like mid-20s now, and it feels like he's been around for so long. Like, well, he has.
Yeah, he's 27, but he's been top. Of the, well, I feel like he's past his peak for sure in terms of like global.
I've
fame,
not heard of anything he's done.
Yeah,
since.
No.
But I mean, he has generational wealth at this point. Like, he could probably just chill.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Last one, Seth.
Yeah, Seth, final pick.
So with this last pick, I'm going to say this right now. I will give both of you $25. I'll give you $100 if you know who this is.
Oof.
You're gonna say you know who it is now. You're great.
No, we'll have to name a song of theirs without typing.
The Streets.
Nope.
No.
Right.
Nope.
So the Streets were an English rap group, very different, like not rap you'd hear now, very very different style, not like drill or anything like that. Like people say like I like drill all the time, but I don't listen to drill at gym. You know what I mean? Drill's like
I've never heard of drill. Well, I mean, I've heard of it because I know it's a UK genre of music, but I don't know.
No, it's not. It's originated in Chicago and then came over to the UK.
Really? Then I've never heard of drill.
It was a big Chicago thing. Do you remember Chief Keef?
Yeah.
Drill. There you go.
Really?
But yeah, the Streets were like an English one, like formed in like the early mid 90s. They're an old school rap group, and the album is Has It Come to This? A Grand Don't Come for Free with How to Come to A Grand Don't Come for Free is the album by the Streets, and that is my fifth pick.
Nice.
There you go.
Well, there goes our draft.
Shout out O-Rod's Vampire and what was her last one?
Guts.
Guts. No, that's this one. Sorry.
Shout out. There was like one. I was between the Streets album, and there was one I missed out. This is like the closest six. So generic, so basic, but Coldplay Parachutes I've listened to a million times. It makes me
classic.
It's just perfect, isn't it? Like they've not done anything as well since. I actually don't love the recent Coldplay stuff, to be honest. Like I don't love a lot of it, but some of their old albums are just fantastic.
Guts and Sour. O-Rod's next. She's next. She hasn't had a bad album. She's ready for big time. Olivia Rodrigo, man.
She is, but I mean, what album?
Get on the wave.
I haven't listened to any.
Her first was Sour, and her most recent one was Guts.
Is she actually good, or is it like a?
No, she's actually good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's pretty good.
I like her new album a whole lot, and I liked her old one.
I liked her first one a lot more than her second.
I discovered her on High School Musical, the series, and I will never deny that I wasn't the first to find her because me and my friend were like, "This chick's awesome.
You will never deny.
I don't know what I said. I will never back down that I found her first. That's what I
never back down. Never what?
Never what? Never give up. I'm not backing down. I found her first.
My guy.
Ask Emma. I was like, this chick is good.
I need to clip that sentence.
I know. Ignore me. Fuck me.
Cam's draft was Zach Bryan's American Heartbreak, Zach Brown Band's Jekyll and Hyde, Brett Young's Brett Young, Noah Kahan's Stick Season, and the Lumineers' Cleopatra. I drafted 21 Pilots' Vessel, John Bellion's The Human Condition, Billie Eilish's When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, Post Malone's Hollywood's Bleeding, and Millennium's Awake. Seth drafted Massive Attack, Mezzanine, Lil Wayne, The Carter 3, The Suicide Boys, My Liver Will Handle It, My Heart Can't. Black, Free Black, and The Streets. I didn't catch what the name of that album was,
The
but
grind don't come for free.
there you go. And that's our draft. Shout out to Cameron Sherritt for the draft recommendation. And we will see you guys tomorrow with our review of The Town. Peace.